Welcome to The God Vibe. This is a space where you remember what's already true inside of you. You remember the truth of the power and presence of love within. I'm Mazanke, and what I do is help people return to clarity, peace, and power, not by pushing harder, but by coming back into alignment with God. If you've been overthinking, forcing outcomes, or feeling disconnected, you're in the right place. Let's get you back into the God vibe. Hi, welcome to this episode of the God Vibe. I'm your host, Mazanke. I'm so grateful that you're here. Today's episode is a very specific, very unconventional tool if you are feeling stuck. Are you feeling stuck in your financial situation, in a relationship, in your health? Whatever it is that it may be at work even, whatever it is that you may be feeling stuck at, this is a universal tool that will help you to get unstuck. Why do I know this? Because for my life back in April of 2018, I was feeling extremely stuck. I was feeling hopeless. My family was experiencing a 9-year court battle. Back then it was 2 years old. And we didn't see light at the end of the tunnel whatsoever. I was experiencing things in my own body, a very visceral response to having to turn over our precious granddaughter to a family, her biological father and his family, who was abusive to her, extremely abusive. This precious child was clutching onto her mother and screaming to never let her go. And we, at the hands of the court system, had to let her go over and over and over again. And that caused me so much distress. I actually felt like I was going to have a heart attack. My heart would race each time my daughter had to turn this precious child over to the biological father. And I really did feel like my heart pumping so hard and so rapidly every single time that my body had this visceral response to what was going on with this trauma. And so I was feeling extremely stuck. And it was a Sunday morning when she was forced to go and visit her dad. And so I was feeling so stuck that I got on my hands and knees and I surrendered. And I said to God, I really need some help. I need something that's going to help me to feel better. That was a Sunday morning in April of 2018. The very next day, in my email inbox, I received a story. And it was an amazing story that caught my interest right off the bat. I had never gotten a story like this from this particular email address before. And so I began to read the story. The story was about a doctor. His name is Dr. Hew, Hew Len, L-E-N, Dr. Hew Len. And Dr. Hew Len was a therapist originally in California, but he was moved to a very difficult hospital with patients that had mental disorders and also very hardened criminals in Hawaii. And the interesting thing about this story that really captured my heart was that Dr. Len never saw any of the patients. In fact, he never even created a diagnosis for any of those patients that were in that hospital. And there was a lot of conflict that was going on in this hospital. There was a lot of pain that there were fights and conflicts and hardened criminals that were in this hospital or in this prison. It was one or the other, or maybe a combination of the two. that these people were experiencing very adverse behaviors. They could not keep any doctors or therapists there for more than a couple of months because these doctors and therapists that worked with these patients were afraid for their lives. In fact, they had to walk backwards in order for them to be able to make sure that nobody would attack them, the therapists and the doctors. So Dr. Len, what he did was he would take each file of each of the patients in this facility. So he took the file and he would do what is called Ho'oponopono. Ho'oponopono. And this is an ancient Hawaiian tradition, Ho'oponopono is, and it actually reprograms the subconscious mind. So Dr. Len had a belief that we are 100% responsible for anything that we are experiencing in our outer world. And so what he did was, rather than focus on the problem, what he did was he decided to use this ancient Hawaiian practice of Ho'oponopono. You can look it up, Ho'oponopono, in order for you to understand it fully. You can look up the story. And Dr. Len would meditate and pray about each of the patients. And it's a very simple process. And the process is this. It's very simple. It is, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. And so what Dr. Len did was he was reprogramming his subconscious mind to be in truth. And the term Ho'oponopono means to make right. So it's all about making truth in the midst of some very adverse circumstances. So this takes me back to my story of April of 2018. I read this article and I read about the success that Dr. Len had. In fact, what ended up happening is he saw dramatic improvements with these patients, never ever seeing the patients, but just doing this prayer. Please forgive me. I'm sorry. First, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. And that was it. And he did it over and over and over again while he was there at work at the facility. He also did it at home. And he practiced this over and over and over again. And so he saw all these improvements, vast improvements, where no one was having breakthroughs in this particular hospital. And what ended up happening is all of the people that were in this hospital ended up healing or getting better. And this hospital on the island, I'm not sure which island it was on, but in Hawaii, the hospital or the facility actually closed because they no longer needed it. So that was all of the information that I needed to say, okay, I'm feeling stuck in my court situation. And so how can I, someone who was so tense and tight about, seeing my granddaughter in such distress, how can I actually practice this? So I would sit down every single morning. I wake up really early every single morning, and I would bring this situation into my mind and just sit with it over and over and over again. Please forgive me. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you, and I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you, and I love you. In fact, this is a great gift that I received from a very dear friend of mine, and this is my Ho'oponopono plaque that has this as a reminder, and it sits in my office that I get a chance to look at it every single day, okay? So here's the key elements to this. The key elements is it's based on the core belief that whatever appears in your life is your responsibility. And this is not as a source of blame or as a source of guilt, but it is a source of power or empowerment for you. So the concept here is that if you can heal from within, take the time, heal from within, your outer world will shift and change. This is the pure foundation of the coaching practice that I have practiced with my executive clients for the last 26 and a half years. I've been doing this, saying that we can have all of this, these great results outside of us if we adjust our frequency inside of us. And if you've had a chance to watch any of the other podcasts that I've talked about, at the first podcast that we talked about moving your focus, your mental and emotional focus, away from problems, conditions, and circumstances, and putting your focus into infinite possibilities. And how do we connect to infinite possibilities? We connect through our breath, and we connect in noticing when our body begins to relax, when we think of things that we're grateful for and things that we're proud of. So we relax in that state. There are a lot of different things, and on YouTube, there's a lot of different videos that you can take a look at and look at what significant strides Dr. Hew Len did while he was here on earth. He had many healings, many circumstances that were completely healed, and he talks about an inner cleansing for you to be able to cleanse whatever energy is kind of going on within you so that you can feel significantly better. Now, in my experience, I started practicing this. I did it every single morning. I dedicated my time and energy to doing this particular practice. And I will tell you, it worked, because the more calm I became as the situation, heated up over year after year after year, the more calm I became, the more connected to the God vibe that I became. I was staying in the vibration or frequency of truth, not staying stuck in the how can I solve this problem. I was at the how can I solve this problem at the beginning of this situation, but I let go of all of the things that I did, which was, going to the police, going to pediatricians, therapists, doctors, just all types of different situations that I was looking outside of myself for help. And so I turned everything back inward towards me and said, what is it that I can do to help empower me to feel better so I could serve my daughter and granddaughter at an energy that is more calm, more confident, and more peaceful. And yes, it took 9 years. That was a very arduous experience and practice, but as the years went on, my dedication to really connecting to God and the truth within the truth about God from within myself, I was able to make some huge strides and practice all of these tools and principles that I offer to you here on the God Vibe podcast. So if this resonates with you, and if you are feeling stuck in any area of your life, it can also be at work. If you look at someone that you are having conflict with, practice it and go inward and say, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, and I love you. And see if this helps. And please leave me comments after you practice this. I want to hear how you do and what types of miracles you create in your life. So that is the Ho'oponopono practice. I'm excited for you to experience it. I don't want you to believe me. I want you to practice it and see for yourself how it works. So go out today and experience joy in your life, and I will see you on the next podcast. Thanks for listening. If something in this episode landed for you, just notice that. You don't need to rush to fix anything. Awareness is where everything begins. And if you're ready to go deeper, not just hearing this, but actually living it, I offer a few ways to work together. You can find those in the show notes. Until next time, stay connected to your body, trust what you feel, and come back to the God Vibe.